9 of Rational Romantics, where we are going to be diving in with episodes 4, 5, and 6 of Blood of My Blood. We are so excited to deep dive these episodes in the middle section of this new series. We also have some Bridgerton updates to hit you with very first, so let's dive in.
Let's dive in. Yeah, there's so much to break down in Blood of My Blood. I feel like so many stories have developed so far since we last spoke about it, so lots to dive into. But we do have some little bits of information about Bridgerton season 4, which is super exciting and further confirms that, we were right and that Bridgerton may very well be coming out in January 2026.
Heck yes. So Yer and Ha did an interview in Elle, Australia, and they just dropped casually in there that she'll be back on our screens for season 4 of Bridgerton in January of 2026. So I'm floored. This is exactly what we've been hoping for, that January, February, March dates. I'm thrilled. Can't wait. And it just feels more and more confirmed every single time we get any information.
Yeah, it seems very, very confirmed that January will be the month that it comes out. And I love that. It's my birthday month. I love that for me. So, yeah, it's very exciting. And it just further confirms, I feel like, that we're going to get news so soon.
Yeah. It just feels like, and I think you said this, maybe just when we were chatting, just you and me, but like end of the month, because they're going to be wrapping up promotion for Wednesday. And then it seems like, yeah, late September, early October, we could get maybe even a release date. Fingers crossed. Bridgerton, it would really help our planning. Like, our document, my schedule document is woefully missing in the coming months because I can't plan until I know. So if you would like to alleviate my anxiety, we would be so grateful, because we're just a couple of girls with glasses and anxiety, and we would like to know the release date.
That's us. We should change the name of the podcast. Glasses and Anxiety. Oh yes, it would be greatly appreciated. So here we go. Putting that out in the universe. Watch it be announced tomorrow. Feel like, fine. Here you go.
Yeah, exactly. We manifested.
Yes, we did. We always do.
Well, and another very exciting thing in the Bridgerverse is that there were the Emmys. And Bridgerton was nominated in 5 categories. They ended up winning in 3 of them. So best costuming, hairstyling for a period drama, and voiceover for Julie Andrews as Lady Whistledown. So amazing wins, and congratulations also to everybody who was nominated, including Jack Murphy, who didn't win, which is insane, but whatever, it's fine. Didn't win for choreography. Ridiculous. Whatever.
That's actually crazy. He is the best of the best, so justice for Jack Murphy, but that's okay. Yeah, congrats to all the nominees, and honestly, they deserved all the wins, and I'm glad that they came away with a few.
So, episode 4 is called A Soldier's Heart. So, we dive in with Julia still working at Castle Leathers. She's growing that baby. And we get some very cute flashbacks with her and Henry, including him feeling the baby kick for the first time.
It was so cute. It's so cute. I love the flashbacks, forward, whatever we want to call them. Yeah. But also it's so heartbreaking because you just want them to be back to themselves and to be back where they belong, which is together. And yeah, so it's bittersweet to see those little looks into their life together. And what a heartbreaking situation Julia is in, to have to face, having this baby and how to keep this baby safe and all the things. So it's heartbreaking, but it is really beautiful to see their little moments together.
Yeah, for sure. And before I forget, do want to interject. We do also want to offer a trigger warning because we are going to be dealing with some really intense subjects, including sexual assaults. We are going to be talking about that, so please be aware of that and take care of yourself. It's going to be primarily when we get to the episode 6 section, so if you would like to skip that, take care of yourself, and yeah. Um, okay, so next up, then, is a whole thread that I will try to save and not unleash on. But Henry goes and meets with a sex worker who is allegedly supposed to be the woman he's looking for.
Yeah, that whole thing was not a fan of that whole interaction. I was like, was this really necessary? Um, but yeah, I guess that's the Outlander world where they just get led into like the worst little nooks and crannies that have nothing to do with what they're actually trying to accomplish. So there we are.
And it wouldn't be Outlander if people weren't lost and looking for each other. Oh my goodness. Um, so then we also have a scene where Colum is talking about sending Ellen to the Beltane Festival. They have a whole conversation where he essentially threatens her with don't duck out of this alliance because the last time that happened, it was a Grant girl named Mara Grant, and they killed the guy who ditched out on his wedding to her. My fun fact for this, for book readers who will know this, and honestly, it might be included in the first season of the show too, but spoiler alert if you don't want to know, uh, Mara Grant, that Colin refers to, ends up being Dougal's wife. So that's part of the way that they smooth everything out. After Ellen and Brian get together, is Dougal marries Mara.
Love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I feel like there was like a slight mention of Mara in like the original series Outlander.
I think so.
Like
Yeah.
it rings a little bell, but that is such a cool little connection.
Yeah. And oh, my fun little fan theory about that also is that all four of Dougal has 4 kids with Mara. They're all daughters. I think that she's cheating on him and none of them are actually his daughters because the 2 kids that he has that are confirmed for sure his are both bastard sons and they're both boys. And I'm like, him going 4 for 4 with his wife and then 2 for 2 with anybody else feels weird. And I am like, I think she was cheating on him, and at least some of the daughters are not his.
That is crazy. I love that. You have the best fan theories though, so I'm down for it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh my gosh. Oh, and then we get the whole story with Henry going out to collect the rents, which felt very reminiscent of Outlander season 1, where they're going to go out and collect from everybody. So that was a fun little callback.
Yeah, I really like that. It was like, at first I was like, dude, did you think this through? But it all kind of came together and I really did enjoy that. And yeah, it really did bring me back to, was it when Claire was like performing? They were like on the road and she was like performing and stuff? Was that when they were collecting the rents and stuff?
No, that's when she's looking for Jamie at the end, but I totally see that connection.
Yeah.
At the end of season 1, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So long ago, but yeah, I love little callbacks like that, so that's really cool.
It's super fun. One I was very impressed with, he's very, clever with the lottery and everything. That's always enjoyable.
But on a different side though, we have Brian and Julia who are becoming little besties, which I love. It's super sweet and yeah, Julia's kind of like in the middle of like getting Brian and Ellen together, and I kind of love that too. Little wing woman. She helps him, he helps her. We love that.
Yeah, it's fabulous when they're clearly developing such, and I love a platonic relationship between a man and a woman, especially hot ones, because I'm like, yes, that's valid. We never see that on TV. Let this be a thing. So I love that. And yeah,
You hear that, the Buccaneers? Let that be a thing.
exactly. Oh my gosh. Yeah, hint, hint. Well, and then we get a great speech from Julia where she is like, hey, come see Brian. Okay, I loved this scene. I loved this moment with Brian and Ellen. I felt like we maybe needed one more moment of development before they were in this deep. It feels like we need just a little bit more. Like they've only met twice, three times?
Mm.
Like twice?
Maybe 3.
Because wait, the first time that they met, the time on the bridge. Is there another
Yeah.
time?
In her dreams.
Right. Yeah, that's valid. Yeah, I think that's it. So
Yeah.
they've met twice, and then she had a nice sex dream, and that's
Yeah.
it. And I'm like, this feels a little intense. I mean, I get that it's love at first sight, and I will get that. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I feel like one more meeting would have been nice.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. I get that. But
oh, yes, and then they plan to go to Beltane. So hopefully, fingers crossed, everything gets to work out where everybody's there, and Henry and Julia and everybody can all be there, and we end on such an optimistic note about Beltane.
yeah. Hey, that's a great idea. That would be a great idea. But definitely not how it's going to go down. That's fine.
Oh, and just the last thing I wanted to note with that episode, we do get to see them decide on naming Claire Claire, which is really cute.
Really sweet. Really sweet. But again, heartbreaking. Ugh, whatever. Pulling my heartstrings. But yeah, this feels very much like an episode that's just kind of floating in between the beginning foundation and now the next part of like the drama. So it's a nice episode. It's not like super memorable, but it really segues us into the next part of this season really well. So I liked it.
Yeah. Which leads us then into episode 5, which is Needfire. So we have Beltane, Ellen in the gorgeous Beltane dress, and of course some sisterly drama. So, oh, Jocasta.
They're sassy. Jocasta's got some baggage for sure.
Yeah. When I loved Ned, like, practically being like a mom who is yelling at her kids in the back seat, and he's like, would you two stop it? Like, you're worse than your brothers.
It's
Cracks me up.
yeah, it's true though. They have a love-hate relationship for sure.
Yeah. Well, it was nice to see them. I felt like that was very true to life sisterly, where there's jealousy, there's these kind of snippy comments, but ultimately when push comes to shove, they actually have each other's back in a really real way, even if it's like, I want mom's necklace for it, but
Yeah.
like, she's got her back, you know? And I really liked that and appreciated that, so that was good.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Okay, so the character that I'm having problems with now is Brian, actor's name is Jamie, Brian's mother. These 2 episodes pissed me off
Yeah.
really, really bad. And I'm like, I get that she's been through some stuff, which we'll talk about, but I can't, okay, so I'm mad at her, for starters.
Yes. Yes, I can see why. She just seems to be she's bitter and she just kind of wants she's nosy and she's just like out to get Julia in like a really weird indirect way, and it's like, is this necessary? Like, she's just being really, really harsh, I find.
Yeah, and what I can't figure out in her brain is, if you want Julia gone, why did she then suggest to Simon to bring the seer on Beltane to prevent Julia from leaving with Brian? Because clearly she knows that there's a plot afoot. But if you want her gone, wouldn't you want your son to successfully get her out of there? Like,
Yeah.
I don't get that logic from her. It felt like, ultimately I think it's a writing issue, that it felt like them just trying to put a monkey wrench in it to have another reason to keep Julia and Henry away from each other at Beltane. So I didn't love that.
No. No. And I find like that whole sequence with the seer, I'm just like I was like losing interest with it. I was like, what was happening? Why is this necessary? And yeah, just exactly that. A wrench in the wheels. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I wasn't a fan of that.
Yeah. Well, and the more that Julia makes an impression on the people there, the less credible it seems like they wouldn't be aware of Claire.
Mm.
Like, sorry, but the seer literally says, there's another daughter coming. She has black hair and blue eyes. And it's Julia Beecham, and then Claire Beecham shows up. Sorry, but they don't forget prophecies in this country. Like, they remember that. Like, a guy that has a seer is not going to forget that. So when his grandson shows up with Claire Beecham, a black haired, blue eyed girl,
Hmm.
that he wouldn't make any connection seems impossible to me.
Yeah.
Like, she meets Simon in season 2. They have conversations. Like, it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
So I I'm a little worried that it's gonna continue to stretch credulity a little bit as this series
Yeah.
goes on.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't love that. It just feels like muddled.
Yeah.
It's not adding up. The math isn't mathing, and it's just odd.
Yeah. Not a fan. But they love their mysticism, and we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it takes us. Um oh, which though the baby that Julia is carrying um gets prophesied to be basically the future king of Scotland, but I was just rewatching that today and thinking about that scene, and she says like he will unite the clans
Hmm.
in like times of turmoil or whatever, and then she says like his future is uncertain, and then it's almost like she catches herself and she's like he'll unite the like he'll what does she say, like she says something like, when war comes, he will reign for generations or whatever. And it's almost like the first part was true and the second part was what Simon wanted to hear. So I
Mm.
think that this idea of like him uniting the clans, and I have a theory about who the baby is, but I'm like, him uniting the clans, I think will show up in a different way than we think it will. And like that he will have a part to play when that happens will be different than we think.
Like, yeah. But it also just kind of sounds like Jamie.
Hmm.
Like, are you just seeing like beyond? Like, it's just weird.
So I'll share my little pet theory, but it has a spoiler in it because I read from an article what the baby's name is.
Mhm.
So, are you good with that spoiler?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So, spoiler alert for that. Skip ahead 30 seconds or a minute or
I think I
whatever it
know what
is.
you're about to say. Actually, anyways, yeah, go
Okay.
for it. Yeah.
So the baby's name apparently is William.
Mm.
And my thought is if you go timeline wise, by the story that Jamie tells about his parents, Ellen should be pregnant right now. Now, they just had sex, which we'll get to, so maybe she is. Maybe she's pregnant with Jamie's older brother.
Mm.
However, Jamie's older brother's name is William. So, what if they adopt this baby as their own, and Claire's brother is raised as Jamie's brother, who's his oldest brother, who ends up dying at the age of 11 from smallpox?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's a really good theory, actually.
Thank you.
But I'm
Obviously,
like,
from
I'm
me.
just here like, no, that doesn't make them related. That's fine. Okay.
I love that. Oh
I
my
had
gosh.
to follow. I had to follow. That's a really good one. Could you imagine?
Yeah.
That'd be really good because, of course, there's going to be, there's gonna, it's gonna, this baby's gonna tie into something we already know, and
Yeah.
that could be it. That could be cool.
Yeah. And I have seen theories that people think that the child is going to be the Comte Saint Germain because he because he clearly is like Fergus's father. Fergus Fraser's dad is the Comte,
Mm.
and that they're like because he's from the same line, and it's like a whole thing that's from the books, and it's super weird and whatever of like that he's probably related to Claire. But I'm like, I don't like it. I don't think that this. I don't think Claire's brother is a villain. I don't buy it.
Yeah.
So
No. God, I hate that guy.
yeah, he's the
Bugs me
worst.
so much. So no,
Okay,
I don't love that.
you know what else is crazy? Fun fact about the Comte is that so in the book, the reason that he is like having like children is that he goes through time and puts anchors in places, so he gets women pregnant in places so that he can have an anchor to take him back to whatever place that he wants. So anytime that he envisions that he wants to go back, he has like a blood anchor because he's left like a bastard child in every time in history.
That's insane.
Yeah, he's a super villain. So like that's not Claire's brother.
Villain of like time travel. Like that's jail. Somewhere that's jail time. Like what the
Yes.
fuck? That's
Because
crazy.
and it's all because he's trying to hunt down Master Raymond to send him into the future. He wants to be able to go forward in time like it's fucking H.G. Wells. I don't it's anyway, God bless the books, but they have become fan fiction of themselves. It's bad. It's fine.
So true. Oh my god, that's crazy.
Oh my goodness.
Wild.
Okay, where were we? I got
I
off
don't
on a
know.
tangent.
I guess we could move on and talk about Murta and
Ooh, yeah.
his
So
like broken heart. He can do it with a broken heart, but not really, because then he sees Ellen and Brian kissing, and damn, damn, he's pissed.
yeah,
Poor guy.
broke my heart for him. I have a little bit of a like, but Marta, you've never talked to her. Like, Brian shouldn't keep that from him. He should have said. But also, I'm like, you might have to get over it, Marta. Like, been working up the courage for 3 years or whatever it is. Like, might be time to move on. I
Yeah,
don't know what to tell you.
yeah, poor guy. But he feels some type of way. But then comes so far my favorite scene ever. Well, not ever. That's a big one. But I loved it. It was the most beautiful scene, Brian and Ellen's first time, but it was the hand fasting for me. Oh my god. I died. I was gone. It was so beautiful.
So beautiful, and that warm lights and the background and them saying the words that are Jamie and Claire words, and I just it gave me all of the feelings. It was so beautiful.
Oh gosh, it was so lovely, and like there's just something about like the window behind them. It was so like angelic. It was so pretty. It was so I loved everything about that whole sequence. It was so beautifully choreographed and everything, and then their first time it was so cute. And even at the end when Ellen talks about like, I have so little decisions in my life, but like this one was my own, and like she'll never regret it. I was like, oh my god, I love it. It was beautiful.
It was so amazing, and such agency that they gave her. Ruin me is a baller of a line. Like, what the heck? It was so good.
Yeah, yeah, so good, so good. Ugh, and like his consent, and her consent. Oh, I love it. We love it. All of it. It was so beautiful.
And I thought it was super interesting too because we talked to Vanessa last week, who amazing, and she couldn't really give us a lot of details yet because we hadn't seen this yet, but we talked a little bit and alluded to this 6-minute sex scene, and I remember her saying something kind of along the lines of like, I honestly thought it was longer. And so when we got to this, I immediately checked. I was like, how long is this scene? It's like 10 minutes if you take the whole thing. And I'm like, I feel like that's so telling that whoever wrote the article probably went, okay, from the minute they start taking their clothes off to like when they finish, it's 6 minutes. So it's a 6-minute sex scene. And I'm like, right. But when you talk to an intimacy coordinator, it's all of the buildup. Like that started being a sex scene the minute that they started like anything. Like the minute they kiss, the minute they handfast, all of that is part of it. And that doesn't go away. And it's still part of it when they're, laying there together and she's got her head on his bicep and he's touching her hip. And like, it's so sensual and beautiful.
Yeah.
And that conversation and that afterglow, it's phenomenal.
Yeah. And I remember as soon as it started, when they were in that setting, I thought, oh, here it's coming. And I was like thinking, does the timer start now? And I felt like it did. And, from the beginning to the end, I was like, that's definitely what Vanessa was talking about. And it's so true because the intimacy starts from the very, very beginning, the moment that they get in there, even from like the way they're looking at each other,
Hmm.
because it's telling a story. And one of the biggest things that, Vanessa said is that it's more than just like the touch. It can start from just the gaze and the intention and the words. And, it's such a beautiful sequence. And yeah, I think that was it. And if it was everything. Like it was beautiful. It was just so perfect.
Yeah, I'm in love with everything about their first time.
Hmm.
Except I did think it was weird they didn't take off their shoes. That was my only qualm. Where I was like, okay, socks I get, guys. It's cold in Scotland. But like, shoes is weird to still be on. Both people's shoes still on. Weird.
I thought that too. When he picks her up, I was like, oh, her shoes are still on. She
Yeah.
gonna take them off? No, she's not. That's fine. That's okay.
No. I thought it was a little bit weird when like her legs are up around his hips and I was like, there's shoes in this shot. Like, that feels weird. Like,
What can you do?
oh gosh.
In the moment, it's fine. It's fine.
Exactly. Oh gosh. Um, where are we now?
Mrs. Porter had
Okay,
to.
I think I sufficiently bitched about that already. Um Oh, she does tell Simon though that Julia was pregnant when she got there because again, her mission is to undermine Julia and Simon's like, "Shut up." Which okay, go ahead. No.
No, well, that's the thing. I was just like, it just backfired because he's just like, well, you got to do all the chores for Julia now, and I'm like, girl, that now you're screwed. So like, what lesson did we learn here? I was annoyed.
Yeah, it was deeply frustrating. And again, I'm like I understand and clearly the next episode which we'll get into was trying to establish as much empathy for her as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like I get that hurt people, but
Mm-hmm.
like you're still inflicting this damage and you're still trying to undermine her and it's a little bit sad to see somebody who has been through so much of what Julia has gone through
Yeah.
turning on her. And obviously she comes around, which we'll get to, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just hard to watch and frustrating to watch.
Yeah, definitely.
Um oh, so what did you think with Myrta and Jocasta at the end of 5?
Well, it's because I love them in like Outlander world, right? And I was just
Yeah.
like, like I don't know. I love them so much. I find that their full love story is beautiful. So it's kind of cool to see it like in the beginnings. But yeah, I mean, bittersweet, I guess. To say the least.
I feel like it is the hardest I've ever cringed in the entire history of Outlander. When he says Ellen's name, I was like,
Dude.
bro, come on. Like, also, I am low-key in love with Jocasta and the actress that plays her. Like, I'm like, dude, you have a fox. Can you focus? Like, I get that Ellen is pretty, but, like, do you see this girl? Like, she is so gorgeous. And I don't know. And also, she's into you. He's like, I just want to be wanted. And she's like, yeah, I get that. And it's like, want her, then. What is your problem? I don't know. I'm just having a
Seriously.
moment.
Yeah. Oh, the name switch. It's been done. I hate that. Like, really? I don't think, ugh, whatever. It was just annoying. I hated it. It was just, yeah, so, like, icky. I was like, no, this could have been good, but whatever.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's
Oh.
fine. I know where they end up. It's beautiful in the end, but Jesus. Get it right, dude.
So, okay, I gotta ask this too, because did the end at Beltane feel to you like a particular book series that we both have read?
A little bit. A little bit. It didn't occur to me right in the moment, but it felt like familiar. But yeah, you saying that it's giving Akatar is just kind of on point. Because, yeah, totally.
Yeah. Well, and it just immediately, like when I saw it in the previews, I was like, this is literally Feyre with Tamlin at Fire Night. I mean, she doesn't go with him and whatever, blah, blah, blah. But,
Yeah.
and then Rhys standing there, like, glowering, like brooding at her from the shadows and being like, I'm your real mate. And, like,
I've
dude
been
just
looking
fucked
for
her on
you.
a church floor. Like, and now he's like, I'm gonna show up and watch you basically in a wedding dress to another man, and I'm gonna be all dark-haired and firelight about it. And I'm just like, that is Rhys-hand coded.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah. Yeah, it was totally giving that vibe. And now I just want to rewatch it with that in mind because, yeah, it totally was. Oh my God. Yeah, I love that. It's so good.
This is why we need an ACOTAR show, so I can stop seeing it and everything and just actually just see it. But
Yeah. Yeah. A little public service announcement. Could you please?
well, that's, I feel like we have had like 30 announcements in the last month of book to screen adaptations that are coming.
Yeah.
Like huge updates, all these things. I'm like, can we, like,
Where's
where is my
Avatar?
fourth wing? Where is my ACOTAR? Like, let's go.
Seriously.
Yeah,
Seriously. Oh my God.
crazy.
Maybe it's because we're not ready for it. I'm not ready for that.
Maybe. Oh my gosh. Well, let's dive into episode 6, Birthright, and we have thoughts. So
Yeah.
again, quickly as a trigger warning for what's coming, but yeah, that's when we're going to talk about it.
Yeah. I generally like there's a lot of rawness in this episode, which I think was really well done. Talking about like secrecy and also like the importance of like the truth. So there are some like themes that I enjoyed, but I as like for like the aspect of like giving birth and like the maternal like aspect of it, it was very hard to watch too. So yeah, it's a tough episode, but yeah, let's dive into it.
Yeah, for sure. When we start off with Julia and her water breaking, so that's kind of the through line of this whole episode is Julia giving birth. And we're really just in that several hours of her that day. And of course, then we also get Henry, who is still looking for her. And he has a plan. And Archbug has a plan. And it ends up going, well, a different direction. Because Arch is like, oh, why don't we just bring midwives here and you can question them to see like if they know where your wife and child are. And he's practically twirling his mustache when he says that. It's like, Henry, don't trust him. Don't trust him.
I don't know at what point he thought he could trust him. Like, I don't understand that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what I'm consistently struggling with both Henry and Julia. For characters that we are constantly told and shown are so smart, they are so stupid sometimes. Yeah, exactly. They drop them in the 1700s and they don't know shit. I'm like, what is this?
I know. I don't get it, but
Yeah.
it makes for a good story, I guess, because now he's faced with this like fake news that, his wife and child are now dead. And
Yeah.
he's just gonna spiral and it's just messy. And yeah, it's frustrating because you just want to, it's this type of thing you just want to yell at your TV and be like, no, it's not, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's heartbreaking.
Well, and maybe we should just go through his story because, and then we can talk about the other parts of the episode because obviously I have extremely strong feelings about how it ends up where, he gets told that Julia and the baby are dead. Again, doesn't question that there could be any other reason. Like, Arch is literally like, the Laird is getting tired of you searching, and it doesn't ever occur to Henry that this might not be true. I don't know, that seems weird. I mean, I understand that news is really jarring, and, he goes into this, PTSD episode really quickly. What I'm really frustrated with is it felt like the PTSD ended up being a storytelling crutch in order for them to get to a situation where Julia and Henry are even. that they both have slept with someone other than their spouse in the past. And I didn't like that. I didn't like Julia sleeping with Simon either. I thought that was dumb and frustrating. But this one felt maybe even a little more icky because it felt like using a mental health diagnosis as this kind of plot device to make your character act extremely out of character, to kind of sensationalize and sexualize this, where it just felt... I don't feel icky in Outlander very much, and I felt really icky in that sex scene that just felt kind of exploitative of somebody who's in a mental health crisis. Like, I didn't feel like we should be seeing, even through his eyes with Julia, I didn't feel like we should be seeing a scene that sexualized that encounter because he is broken from reality. So I was not on board.
Yeah, I agree. Because the thing with Julia's situation is that even though it might not have been like the decision we would have made for ourselves, she was still trying to make the right call for herself and her baby, right? In Henry's situation is just like, what is this going to do to help anything, you know? It felt, yeah, exploitative is probably the best word for it.
Yeah. As we were kind of discussing it, it actually reminds me most of Jamie and Geneva about how uncomfortable I am that was made into something that was supposed to be sexy. Like, we're supposed to see it from this perspective, and I don't agree with that, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so we can kind of put a pin in that one, and we can hop over to, I guess, the next one is horrible also. So we get a flashback to Vietnam Mrs. Porter, to her first sexual assaults from Simon. Which, yeah. So, do you, I guess I'll just say, I don't think that the first scene of the sexual assault was necessary, but I don't 100% object to it because I understand the value of putting it in and showing what she has been through and what she has suffered to color her behavior in the episode. The second sexual assault scene, I think, is the single most unnecessary sexual assault scene in all of Outlander, in a series full of unnecessary sexual assault scenes. So I do not know why that second one was in there. I think we can fully understand and we can fully comprehend that Simon continued to terrorize her for the rest of her life without seeing something that brutal and upsetting. It just felt extra in a way I did not appreciate.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, I don't think we should be seeking out ways to show sexual assault more than we have to. I think it's less is more in this situation. Definitely, it doesn't require more explanation. You can assume that, you know, this awful thing happened and continued to happen. It doesn't need to be continuously shown in such an aggressive way. It was unnecessary and it was upsetting. For sure.
Well, and that's where, like, that second one added nothing. Like, we knew that was happening. It really, realistically, even the first one didn't add anything. We didn't learn anything new about the characters. We didn't, we knew all of these things had happened. We didn't know them necessarily explicitly, but we understood all of that characterization. We understood why she felt the way that she felt toward Julia, even, you know, and maybe it garnered us, you know, a little bit more sympathy toward her. But I think there are other ways to do that. And, you know, to show her vulnerability, her reactions to it, maybe. We don't actually have to see the scene. We could see her leaving his bedchamber very shaken up. Like, there are ways to imply that without having to put that on screen when it's already put on screen too much and already exploited.
Yeah. Yeah. It's far too literal and unnecessary, so I agree.
Okay, so we're back in the present.
Hmm.
And Simon now knows that Julia's going to have a baby, so he's like, "Hey, let's go to church. My son is going to be born in wedlock." Which,
Great.
yeah, what
Like,
what is the plan here, bro? Like, okay, okay, I guess. But
oh my God. Yeah. Just, yeah, there's just so much about this that I did not appreciate and I didn't
yeah,
love to see. So, but it just continues to like build this chaotic character for of Simon
hmm,
and just really makes us hate him and despise him and everything he's about. Ugh,
yeah,
gosh, it's just he's so hard to handle and I mean, it just builds on it, but yeah, I just less of that, less of that.
yeah. Well, and then he ends up like doing a whole session of just belittling Brian and about how terrible Brian is, and he's finally gonna have a son, and he's gonna be who he wants him to be, and he's gonna have this born in wedlock, and it's like he's just an abuser in every level. I mean, which we understand and we know. And
Yeah.
he ends up beating Brian with a belt again, but not even
Hmm.
him. He has his lackey do it, but he just sucks just
You're just
constantly.
yeah. And it's like it's again, like I get it. I get it. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how many different like variations of him being a dick we have to suffer through, but yeah, no more. No more, please.
Yeah. Very fair. I mean, like, I know it would break the continuity of the world, but can somebody just like stab him through the eye? Like, can we just
Yeah.
be done? Like,
Yeah. Just Game of Thrones him something.
exactly. Perfect.
Please.
Oh my gosh. Um. Oh, okay. And so then a bunch of women show up to like help Julia through the birth, and then end up not being the most helpful in the world. Which again would be probably on Mrs. Porter because she made them turn on her. Like she was like, "No, Julia seduced the Lord," and it's like, well, okay,
Yeah, she's whiplashing too much. It's like she's trying to paint this picture, but then she's suddenly having like empathy for Julia and her situation because it's very similar to her own. So it's like, and now she's trying to get rid of all the other women and be like, okay, no, 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 like Julia needs to be like taken care of, and it's like, girl, you caused this. Like, what? You're just causing more work for yourself constantly. But
yeah,
yeah, it's messy.
it is. Well, and it didn't feel necessarily like I didn't feel her jealousy toward Julia and her distrust of Julia was quite as strong as it was then portrayed, especially in episode 6, but even a little bit in episode 5. That felt like it came a little out of nowhere. Like we always knew that she was a little wary, but the vehemence of that came in really strong. And I get that, maybe it's from like the idea that maybe he's going to marry her when he never married, Mrs.
Yeah.
Porter and
Yeah.
all of those things. But the vehemence and then the quick switch to empathy again felt a little unearned. It felt like you said a little too whiplashy, and
Hmm.
it just didn't quite make 100% sense from a character perspective. I just think it was just a little too whiplash.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. But then when all this is happening, we also get the flashback to Claire being born too, which again, the flashbacks being sweet but like heartbreaking, just one of those things too. And just really sad to see that Julia's alone, in the past, and it's tough.
Yeah. Well, and Julia, I mean, Julia's a badass. She's a survivor. She's doing great. And it's nice that she has somebody with her because, like, obviously, Mrs. Porter went through the birth of Brian literally by herself. I'm like, I don't know how you cut that umbilical cord, but you a badass, babe.
Yeah.
Um, but it was nice for Julia to have somebody at least, even if it was somebody who just threw you under the bus.
Yeah, whatever. You
Yeah.
suddenly, yeah, we can trust you for sure.
So, and then in the ending, which Brian and Julia had a little bit of a rift in this episode, because in episode 5, Brian's mom revealed, like, hey, she's carrying your sibling. And Brian's like, what the fuck? You told me this was your husband's, and like, whatever, and like a whole thing. And so they've had a little bit of a bumpy situation. And then, so then we finally get Brian goes through the punishment from his dad, but then he goes and seeks out Julia, and they sit by the fire with the baby, and it's so cute. I love
so
that.
cute. Which brings them a little birthday cake and explains it to him. I was like, oh, it's cute. I love that. It's beautiful. Their little friendship is sweet.
It was so sweet, and I love the idea too of Brian, at least metaphorically, having the same birthday as her baby, because she brought the cake, and it's so cute.
It's so cute. I love that. It was a really nice way to end a pretty horrific episode. So
Yeah.
it was really cute. But yeah, I don't know where we go from here, to be honest. Like, I don't know what's in store for the next 2. How many episodes are there in total? 8?
4. There's 4
4
episodes
more.
left.
Holy
Yeah.
shit. God, who knows what's gonna happen. But yeah. There's a lot coming our way, I think.
Oh yeah. Well, and then the cast, like, oh so casually, because they're currently filming season 2, and I can't remember what event they were at, but Jeremy Irvine was like, oh yeah, in season 2 we're in, like, a very different place. And I'm like, where are you guys time traveling to? In season 2, that's my guess, is that I'm like, we're gonna get a different time period for Henry and Julia, or at least Henry or somebody, I don't know, but I was like, somebody's gonna go back through the stones and they're gonna go to a different time period, and that's my theory for season 2. So I don't know.
Crazy. Maybe they'll be in Jamaica again.
I like that. That would be very fun. They can just
Yeah.
like revisit all the Outlander places, but at a different time period in history.
Yeah, that'd be cool, actually.
It would be very fun.
It's a wild ride for sure.
Always. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be if you're gonna be in the Outlander world.
It better be bumpy.
Exactly.
So that's our episode on the episodes 4 to 6 of Blood on My Blood. Usually at this point in time, we would be telling you to tune in to next week because we're going to talk about XYZ, but we don't have that because I am last minute suddenly going to be out of, I was going to say the country. I'm not going to be out of the country. I'm going to be out of my province for about a week next week for work. So I am MIA on the road with the team. So we're going to figure out some content for you. We will be back next Sunday. What that's going to look like, we're not sure yet. But stick around. Tune in next Sunday and who knows? Who knows what you're going to get. But until then, you can find us on Instagram at rationalromantics.pod and you'll get all the updates there.